There's a reason why Coke still has very few people in the world who know what the Coke formula is. Another lesson we have learned, and it's always amusing but also so surprising at the nerve that some people have, is that people will go to any lengths to learn, I guess, the secrets of your business. And it's, there are people who reach out to us all the time and say like, hey, I'm interested in starting such a business. Some of them would be reaching out for, are you wholesalers? And we will say, no, I'm sorry, we're not. We in retail. But if we ever get to that point, we'll let you know. And then they'll even go and say like, oh, can you tell me who your suppliers are? And at that point, I'm like, no.
Nope.
The other thing too is, on top of the people who ask, the people who now try and be sneaky about it. There are people who, oh Lord, we've seen some crazy things. People who come in after hours or when they think the owners are not around and, just trying to like scan some of the boxes that we have in the office, trying to find names or take pictures when we're not looking. The people who even try and manipulate us into giving them some information or even bribe. We've seen cases of bribing taking place. And honestly, it's just, corporate espionage exists, but it's just so sad that people will go to those lengths to try and steal things that you've worked for so much. Before we even opened our doors, we spent years, and I'm not even lying, years researching this industry. And we learned so much in that time when we were setting that foundation. And it's one of the main reasons we are where we are today, because we learned so many things around industry. We talked to so many different people. And if we hadn't taken that time to do that, to Google, to spend hours and hours and hours on the internet, emailing with people, trying to figure out things, making mistakes and then learning from them, we wouldn't have been able to open our doors when we did and be able to sustain the business we've been able to for the last 4 years. If you want to set up a similar business, we are not going to stop you, but don't use us and the things that we've done to really our blood, sweat and tears to try and build yourself by stealing information from us. There's a reason why Coke still has very few people in the world who know what the Coke formula is. You just have to protect yourself. Some of this stuff is proprietary. Your time and effort that you've put into finding this information is proprietary information. Another lesson that we want to share is, as many of you have noticed, we produce our own content many times, but we also work with popular individuals, or I guess influencers as we'll call them. A big lesson that we've learned is that not all influencers are influential. And so don't just use the numbers, especially if it's on Instagram, the following as a guide to whether they'll be influential or not. There are many times we've worked with influencers who have lower numbers, and my God, like they will post one picture and that translates to building awareness or having more people inquiring about us or having even more sales. The others who have hundreds of thousands of followers and they'll post 10 pictures and it will never translate to that sort of engagement with your brand after that. The other thing too is, when you are finally to the stage of talking with influencers, it's a two-way relationship, right? They also want to see why it's good for them to work with you. So definitely make sure you come to an agreement of understand the work that they put in and the effort and pay them accordingly, but also don't be scared of asking them, the impact they've had working with previous brands, because it's just like when you go to an interview for a job, you have to give your resume, right? So don't be scared of asking for that information, because that will also ask for references if you want to talk to other brands they've worked with before. Many influencers are normally forthcoming with this and they'll tell you, hey, I worked with brand A. If you want to talk to them, you can talk to this person. Because then you're also able to tell how did they do, because this is money that you've worked hard for that you're going to be putting up front, paying them. And also don't be scared to, if your influencer is open to it, don't be scared to vary your compensation method, just so you can protect yourself as a business as you need to.
I'd asked Charity to do an in-depth discussion on working with influencers, just because she knows this is a topic that triggers me like a lot. But the thing is, what I would just summarize is the things that I've learned is Find an influencer who has a balance of both giving you brand visibility and at the same time translates into sales. You don't want to have one who is giving you brand visibility but no sales, because as a small business, your bottom line means everything at the end of every month, unlike a big organization that can exist with just brand visibility. So find one who can give you a mix of both, one whose personality does not override the content they're sharing and what they're selling. So go to the comment section. It's always best to go there and see what type of engagement these people are having with the influencer, and what Charity called quality engagement. Like if people are just putting emojis of fire and smiley faces, then that's a bit of a problem. Find somebody who at least gets inquiries about, oh, where did that thing come from? Where did you purchase that? You know, the product that you're selling. And we say this in hindsight because we've made a couple of mistakes in our past, and best believe we are not repeating them in the year of our Lord 2020. Guys, so dramatic. Anyway, let's move on.